Assalamu alaikum. We have talked about the difference between fact and opinion, and we know the importance of developing an effective opinion. So, in this lecture, we would learn how we can develop an effective opinion while we are speaking as well as when we are writing. Let's begin. First and the foremost thing when you are giving an opinion is that you have to be polite. If you are very stubborn and if you are giving a one-sided opinion, your opinion will never be valued. Okay, if you want other person to listen to you, and in general, if you want to portray your opinion with an open mind, you have to be polite and you have to be considerate of others' feelings and others' opinions as well. Secondly, when you are providing an opinion, it is very much important that you evaluate both sides of the argument. What are the merits and what are the demerits of the particular thing? Or what is the pros and cons and all the perspectives, and only then you can form an opinion. So before forming and reaching to a conclusion or giving your argument, it is very much crucial that you evaluate both the sides of an argument and then you develop your own opinion. Only then your opinion will have some value, and then it would help you at the end to justify your opinion as well. When you are giving an opinion, it is very much important that you keep in mind the context in which you are speaking. So if you are talking in a current context of, for example, student life, then you have to talk or give an example from that perspective. If you're talking in terms of teacher's life or whatsoever the context is, then you have to develop your argument and your examples accordingly. For example, you're talking in terms of Pakistan, then you cannot give examples of a developed country or first world country. Then you have to give the contextual and related arguments and examples. Only then your argument will have some value. So these are some of the basic things that you have to keep in your mind when you're developing an opinion. Next is substantiate your argument with suitable examples and facts. You know, I have always emphasized on this point in all the lectures that whenever you are writing, you cannot just merely give statements. You have to substantiate your argument and justify it with certain examples, facts. In examples, you can give examples from daily life, from history, from future, or some predictions, maybe scientific theories, and this is how you can substantiate your argument. You can provide some facts from some reports, from newspapers, from some articles, journals, and so on. So you can give any authentic examples and facts to substantiate your argument and give some value to what you are saying. Because if your argument is not substantiated, then your argument would not have any value. So when you are giving an opinion, it should be based on certain arguments which are in turn based on certain examples and facts. When we are giving an opinion, it is also important that we give or add some adjectives and adverbs to give some emphasis. If we are giving a straightforward sentence, that would not have as much value as when we are using adjectives, because we know what does adjectives do. Adjectives and adverbs qualify a noun, and adverb in turn qualifies a verb. Let's say, for example, so in that case, if you are giving adjectives and adverbs, that would show what is your stance. Because when you are talking about an opinion, it is more or less your subjective and you have to take an stance. You cannot just give a merely swiping statement in which could be understood by both the sides. Okay, so you have to give an opinion and you have to take one stance. So when you are taking any stance, you can show what is your stance and you can justify it with the use of certain adjectives and adverbs. So when you are trying to create an effective opinion, you can use more adjectives and adverbs to emphasize your point and to emphasize and highlight your stance. Then, when you're providing examples and facts, it is also crucial that you provide particular references to authenticate what you're saying and that you're not making up things. That's why you have to provide references of what you are saying. So you give value to what you are saying, and the listener or the reader of your draft knows that you have researched about the topic, and then you also value the original thought, and then you are giving due credit to whose ideas those are. Okay, so that is why it is very crucial that you provide references where you read certain fact or certain example. That would not degrade or devalue your opinion, that would rather emphasize it and give it more value. So it is always very important to provide references. Moving on, this is also very important that when you are providing an opinion, you have taken one stance, but you have to be open-minded and flexible because anyone can be wrong at any point. You have very limited knowledge. If you study more about the topic and if you listen to another person's opinion, you can change your mind because opinion is not a statement or is not stubborn judgment. Okay, the purpose of a debate or the purpose of an opinion should be to bring some change or to affect your learning. So that is why you have always to be flexible and open-minded and listen to other people with such an attitude. I'll now provide you some examples. First, let's see what could be informal ways in which we can express our opinions. That is mostly used in speaking, but in some contexts they can also be used in written. Then we will discuss formal examples. In my opinion, and then your sentence. So this is a phrase that we can use. In my opinion, a good education is more important than a good car. I've taken these examples from a site on internet. I can also share that link with you. You can see some more examples there. So you can say, in my opinion, English with Maharuk is a good channel. In my opinion, this channel provides good information, so on and so forth. So if your opinion is against that, you can also develop such a sentence. In my opinion, and then whatever your sentence is. Okay, so this is one phrase that you can use. You can also say, I believe that, and then you can give your example. For example, I believe that schools should encourage students to walk or cycle to schools rather than drive. Okay, so now this is a particular example of an opinion. Now, if your opinion is otherwise, you can put that in your sentence. Okay, this is the phrase that you can use. You have to practice these examples as well. Just try to form one sentence, whatever your opinion is, and add these phrases. Or other example could be in my mind and then your sentence. Okay. Now let's see some formal academic phrases which we use in academic writing mainly. It would seem that, and then you would add your sentence. Use this when you support your opinion with evidence. Okay, it would seem that children learn best when they are feeling comfortable. Now, before this sentence, you would have given some argument or substantiated your argument, and then you are giving this opinion because now you are reaching to this conclusion. Okay, so you would use this phrase. It would seem that when you have given some evidence, and then you would substantiate it. There is another example. It could be argued that, okay, use this when you want to challenge an existing opinion. So when you read some certain opinion and then you can say that it could be argued, then you are giving an argument in the favor of the opposite. Okay, so whatever the opposite stance is, now you favor it, and then you can say it can be argued that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks in the situation. Okay, so you are talking about benefits and the general argument is drawbacks. So this is how you develop a sentence. It could be argued that, and yours whatever your sentence is. Okay, you can practice these sentences more. There could be another example. This suggests that, or this proves that. Okay, use this when you don't want to fully commit to an opinion. This suggests that. Okay, or you can use this proves that when you have given some argument and now you would say that the argument now proves that whatever your opinion is. Okay, this is how we substantiate our opinions. Now there is another example. This supports the idea. Now when you have given an evidence, okay, you have already made a point supporting idea. Now you would use this supports the idea that, and so on. There are some other ways to express opinions. A major idea is using of linking verbs or coherence words like although. We use although when we disagree with the idea. Okay, there could be other words like however, nevertheless, and so on. We can use them in different contexts. We would be discussing some of the ideas of these words we have already talked about. Some others we will discuss soon, and then we would have a fair idea how we can use different linking words for different opinions. Okay, so here's just one example. Although we use it when we disagree with something. Okay, although the report suggests something, but there are so many other things and so on. You can develop an argument like that. Last but not the least, I would only suggest you to be creative. You can create more phrases, whatever is suitable for you. You can learn more linking verbs. You can create other phrases that can be assertive in your opinion, and that's how you can develop an effective opinion. Just keep in mind the points that we discussed, and then you can effectively argue and form an opinion. Thank you so much. Love